saying it. I believe Shedeur Sanders should play more games than any other quarterback on this roster this year because he's the only guy that I look at and say they might have something here. Because I'm telling you right now, they left night one of the draft saying we are taking our quarterback.
The New York Jets tried to throw themselves a quarterback party, but forgot the most important guest, an actual quarterback. Aging vets keep recycling through, yet there's still no franchise savior in sight. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders landed in Cleveland like a five-star comet with a golden arm, turning training camp into a sold-out circus before he even finished his first drop back. Jets fans? They're paying ticket money just to drown their pain at MetLife, watching scoreboard messages that may as well flash, quarterback not found.
Shedeur Sanders has been allegedly balling in OTAs and especially in minicamp. Now, I gotta tell you folks, nothing frustrates me more when somebody keeps track of stats during OTAs or minicamp. They mean nothing. However, he went 8 for 9 today, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Yesterday was quote-unquote his statement day, going 10 for 12. Off of reports, it sounds like he is demonstrating exactly what he did in college. Highly accurate, high football.
And Shedeur, the hype is so unreal that it feels like every NFL scoreboard's been hijacked into a Sanders hype meter. The man just breathes near the practice field, and Browns fans start selling out camp like it's the Super Bowl. One flick of his wrist and the city treats him like a king already. Meanwhile, poor New York, on the other side of the QB coin, or more like that busted cardboard token you win from a broken arcade machine, the Jets keep praying their quarterback lineup could at least pull in the crowd of a third-grade recital.
Shedeur Sanders is arguably the #1 selling jersey in the entire league. His name ringing bells all across the country, and they're doing everything they need to do to make sure he's relevant within their organization, bro. It's crazy.
Spoiler, even that flop drew more cheers. And hey, before we go further, do me a solid. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to the channel. Oh yes, the showdown that never was. The Jets strolled into the 2025 NFL Draft, acting like they had destiny in their pocket, like a franchise quarterback was just waiting on their call. But when Jordan Travis suddenly retired, the rug got yanked out from under them, and the wild part? They had multiple chances to grab Shedeur Sanders and still walked away empty-handed.
It's about damn time. Shedeur Sanders has officially been named the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns after the conclusion of minicamp. But Shedeur Sanders went off in minicamp, and let me show you guys the stats, which is the reason why he is being named the starter. Because these are the official minicamp stats now that minicamp has officially concluded. And as you can see, Shedeur Sanders by far has the best completion percentage out of any quarterback in the Browns QB room by a mile. On top of that, he has the most touchdowns, and he didn't even have the most attempts or opportunities to throw the ball.
Not only that, Sanders was practically a clearance sales steal. 2 fifth-round picks and a juice box could have locked him down, but the Jets looked the other way. At this point, they could have thrown in a selfie session with Aaron Rodgers' replacement, free dinner with the head coach, and a parking voucher. And fans still would have rather sat in bumper-to-bumper traffic than endure another season of quarterback roulette. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, Shedeur drops a pass in warm-ups, and Browns fans build a shrine around the football. The man could host a pickup game in a grocery store parking lot, and ESPN would still slap it in primetime like it was the Super Bowl. His college numbers, a sizzling 74% completion rate, sniper-level precision. That's the type of accuracy Navy SEALs brag about in perfect conditions.
Shedeur Sanders in college had Travis Hunter. That was it. Didn't go to a big school and put up big numbers. Dylan Gabriel, 2 powerhouses. I think between both teams that he played on, probably 10 to 12 receivers got drafted. He's throwing to pros. Why is he not outdoing Shedeur? I'll tell you why. Because he's not better.
And yet, the Jets looked right at that and passed without hesitation. Some Jets fans didn't even get it. They just stood in front of their TVs like it was the Super Bowl draft night, praying for the name of a quarterback who might finally bust through that concrete ceiling of failure. That's been their draft history. Decades of heartbreak dressed up as hope. Now, here's the contrast. On one side, you've got Shedeur Sanders, football's version of Coachella, selling out stadiums and creating an atmosphere that feels like a music festival every time he touches the ball.
Shedeur is going to be QB1. A lot of people saying it's going to happen later in the season. I'm saying first week. I'm saying first week, man. First week. He won Walter Payton Award, SWAC MVP, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, Deacon Jones Award.
On the other side, the Jets, who look more like a garage band still begging the manager at Applebee's to let them play during happy hour. Their quarterback room is so lifeless, you could host a whole family reunion inside the film room, with enough space left over for a dance floor. Some poor soul even tried to start a hype wave when the Jets signed Justin Fields. But it fizzled so hard, it looked like one lonely fan doing a solo arm stretch with nobody to pass it to. Meanwhile, the Sanders effect? That's a whole different universe. Back in college, Shedeur casually dropped a 70.1% completion rate, like it was just another Tuesday night against Wisconsin.
Every time you see the tape, it's him throwing a touchdown or a completion. That is what you see. I ain't seen too many incompletions and all that, but whatever you see and whatever you hear is about the young fella getting better. If he steps into this preseason and he plays well and he looks like he's been looking out here at practice and he looks like the Shedeur Sanders from Colorado, you have to start this young boy.
That precision hasn't faded. It's evolved. It's not just about his throws anymore. It's about existing in the same zip code as him. Simply being near the man feels like proximity to greatness. Meanwhile, the Jets are just hoping somebody, anybody, recognizes their quarterback in the aisles at Target. And Cleveland? Fans tracked every single completion in OTAs. Yes, OTAs, like it was playoff football. Sanders was throwing against backups, a defense so unknown most of the crowd couldn't name them, even if you handed out rosters and highlighters. But did anybody care? Not at all. He could have been throwing passes to practice squad players, substitute teachers, or even the entire cast of Dancing with the Stars. That practice field was packed, wall to wall.
Everybody keeps saying, Gee, Bush, why is Shedeur getting them first team reps? He should be getting them first team reps, dog. He's been getting, first and foremost, he's been the best quarterback he can. Now look, Joe Flacco ain't had many opportunities. It was a whole day I saw he didn't throw the ball at all. Here's my theory on the situation. They already know who's starting in the number 2 is. They already know. Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders is already locked up. You're missing the boat, people. You're missing the boat.
Shedeur could have laced up against 5 inflatable tube men from a car dealership, and the crowd still would have blown the roof off like it was game day. One fan even confessed they bought Browns season tickets just to hear the zip of Shedeur's spiral slicing through Cleveland air. Not the touchdowns, not the highlight reels, just that sound of perfection. That's when you know this isn't just football anymore. It's a full-on cultural phenomenon. Shedeur has somehow turned warm-ups, yes, warm-ups, into must-see TV. Meanwhile, here come the Jets, strutting around like their quarterback room is just the sequel to their never-ending coaching carousel disaster.
Shedeur Sanders and Browns minicamp, the less I believe any of the narratives that the media was trying to paint about Shedeur. I don't think that he was underprepared during these meetings. I don't believe any of these stories that he showed up arrogant and that he was bombing his interviews. I mean, you watch the film, he's on time, he's on point. You watch his interviews, he answers like a 10-year NFL veteran. Like, he's clearly dominating OTAs. It's every single day there's a new report of how well he's doing for the Browns in OTAs. And I mean, you can say what you want, it's just OTAs. Okay, if that's your new narrative, then he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing. He's on point, he's on time, he's getting the respect of his teammates, and he's making plays. So we're going to see years down the line, something's going to come out that I don't know what exactly it was, but something will come out about what they were trying to do to Shedeur Sanders during the NFL.
The gridiron doesn't care about washed-out draft busts or how many off-season outfit changes the front office pulls off. If fans wanted to watch people pose, pout, and switch styles, they'd just scroll Instagram or binge reruns of America's Next Top Model. What they do want, to see Sanders dropping dimes on the sideline, slicing throws so clean they look like surgical cuts, and torching defenders with the kind of precision only brain surgeons and snipers usually pull off. He doesn't just serve completions, he serves shockwaves. And yet, the Jets act like none of this is happening, even as their playoff hopes sit emptier than their fan base's patience. While Cleveland training camp is so loud it could shake the Richter scale. But nope, The Jets are still stumbling around like they're the stars of some corny coming-of-age sports movie. Except this ain't Remember the Titans. It's more like Forget the Quarterback.
The Cleveland Browns' 5th-round pick had the best performance among the team's 4 quarterbacks on Wednesday. According to ESPN Cleveland's tracking, Sanders completed 7 of 9 passes and had 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in throwing reps during team drills. The team's other signal callers were well off his pace. And I know it's going to be a lot of y'all still talking trash about my dog. I get it. I already know y'all going to do it. Y'all probably going to say, oh, he's still number 4 on the list. Well, let me tell you something. There was a guy by the name of Russell Wilson, a 3rd-round pick, that went in the preseason and went crazy and looked better than everybody. And guess what happened? He became a starter. And guess what happened after that? He won a Super Bowl. Man.
Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is out here moving like he's Marvel's new superhero lead, headlining the summer's biggest blockbuster while the Jets are stuck begging someone, anyone, to buy a ticket to their cinematic flop. Let's be real. When your quarterback options are weaker than vending machine snacks and fans still won't bite, it's officially tragic. That's not a quarterback room. That's a politely attended rehearsal for pure disappointment. You could almost hear the Jets facility whispering, "Where is everybody?" While, over in Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders fans were recreating full-on Beatlemania in Browns jerseys. And to give the Jets credit? Nah. Let's not even go there. There's only so many participation trophies we can hand out before it turns into one giant point. The talk has to shift from potential to actual performance. And this isn't about cherry-picking stats or highlight reels stuffed with empty numbers. This is about pull. The kind of pull that makes national headlines, sells out tickets, and packs stadiums until fans are climbing the rafters just to get a glimpse. Because Shedeur Sanders doesn't just play the game, he moves it. He bends attention like gravity itself, dragging every eye and every camera into his orbit. He's not just standing on the field, he is the field. The man is a walking, throwing celestial body. ESPN could literally reroute satellites around him, and nobody would blink twice. Now, stack that next to the Jets' quarterback situation, their lineup has the drawing power of an unplugged magnet forgotten in a junk drawer. It's not that there's zero talent. It's that talent without traction is just a warm-up act for someone else's show.
Shedeur Sanders officially signs a 4-year, $4.6 million rookie contract for the Cleveland Browns. The thing about the truth, man, it's always going to come out, man. If it's not coming from you, somebody's going to see the work you're putting in, and they are going to showcase it to the world, and that's exactly what's happened to Shedeur Sanders behind the scenes throughout his whole rookie training.
And here's the kicker. Shedeur's rookie deal? Just $4.6 million spread over 4 years. That's pocket change in this league. People are skipping rent, mortgaging futures, and trading priceless baseball cards from their late uncles just for a chance to ride the Sanders wave. People shelled out $6 million in NIL money back in college just to watch Shedeur Sanders run layup drills. That's the level of magnetism he carries. Meanwhile, the Jets' quarterback room is so bleak you could score a front-row seat to mediocrity with nothing more than a half-punched Subway card and a wink.
I mean, did maybe feel like, okay, he might have bombed his interviews and stuff, but it really just comes down to the simple fact that people were kind of just hating on Shedeur, man. Everyone was mad about his confidence. Everyone was mad about the way he's acting. A guy that never got in trouble, was never in the headlines for the wrong reasons. You guys were just mad that the confidence he displayed while on the football field, confidence he displayed as a person. He's a quarterback. He's now an NFL quarterback. You have to act like that. You can't be a humble dude, respectfully. And looking at it now, there really isn't too much that I'm buying into anymore. He's going to be the Browns starting quarterback at some point during this season. He might very well be the Browns starting quarterback week 1.
And still, the atmosphere inside that facility echoes like an abandoned Food Lion, emptier than their playoff hopes and twice as depressing. So yeah, potential sounds nice on paper, but pull, that's the real currency. And Shedeur is printing it nonstop while the Jets are still wandering around asking where the nearest ATM is. Because when Shedeur steps onto a practice field, he doesn't just play quarterback, he orchestrates a full-blown symphony of chaos, precision, and swagger. Every drop back thunders like a drum beat, every pass hits like a sharp note, and every completion builds into a crescendo that makes the crowd lose its mind. From the moment his cleats touch turf, the entire energy in the building shifts. Fans are on their feet before he even throws, losing their voices over warm-up slants and routine out routes like they just witnessed divine intervention. And here's the kicker. The man hasn't even played a single preseason snap yet. Atmosphere. It's already bouncing like it's the Super Bowl. One flick of his wrist from the pocket and boom, the whole place explodes like it just won a championship. Let's be real. When even the coffee machine in the back sounds like a rock concert, you know this is no ordinary practice. Shedeur doesn't just run drills. He is the drill. Everyone else is just borrowing minutes in his orbit. This isn't simple fandom anymore. This is straight-up reverence. Shedeur Sanders has turned into a cultural force so massive, the Browns should be cutting him hazard pay for carrying the entire franchise's marketing on his back. The Jets are still out here trying to convert past glory into future wins. But let's be real, a nostalgic highlight reel isn't the same thing as a forward pass. Meanwhile, the media has already built Shedeur Sanders a statue in their hearts. The Jets, they barely get a footnote, usually buried between the weather forecast and a commercial for allergy meds. Type Jets quarterback situation into your phone and autocorrect practically begs you. Did you mean Shedeur Sanders? That's how wide the gap has become. And the most poetic twist of all? Jets fans spent months screaming they didn't need another rookie quarterback, piling up excuses, listing every X, Y, and Z reason under the sun. But maybe, just maybe, they should have grabbed one. Because Sanders isn't just good, he's rewriting the game in real time. He's filling facilities like it's the Hunger Games for seats, people clawing just to get in the building. He's smashing records, shifting culture, and making warm-ups feel like main events. Meanwhile, Jets supporters are scrambling on social media, trying to convince the world that Justin Fields is a franchise savior. But deep down, everyone knows he's not a savior. He's just the maintenance guy left behind, keeping the lights on out of pity. Call it delusion, call it denial, but whatever it is, it's not fooling anybody.
The coaches were reportedly shocked at his precision and accuracy with the short time they had with him at rookie training camp. Sanders was reportedly throwing with a 10-year veteran touch. Kurt Warner, my evaluation is he's the most accurate quarterback in this draft. There's a lot to like. He wasn't a fifth-round prospect in my.
So here's the real question. What exactly is the Shedeur Sanders effect? Because from where the league is standing, it looks like the Jets passed on the future while Cleveland cashed in on a movement. It's a reality check. The moment the football world stopped pretending every rookie quarterback belongs on the same level just because they came out of the same draft. Shedeur Sanders doesn't just raise the bar, he launches it straight into orbit. While other rookies are still stretching on the sidelines, he's out here dropping dimes like it's child's play. And the best part? He does it with style. Not that fake Instagram filter kind of style. We're talking gritty, jaw-dropping, stop what you're doing style. Shedeur isn't trying to make a statement with his draft position. He is the statement. Meanwhile, the Jets can sit inside polishing their dusty Super Bowl rings if it helps them sleep at night. But unless those rings magically turn into quarterbacks walking into their facility, it ain't helping one bit. And let's talk crowds. Sanders' practices look like festivals. Families, die-hard superfans, little girls holding up homemade signs, and grown men losing their voices over routine throws. Over at Jets camp, crickets. Honest truth. One fan swore they heard their own echo whisper back, "Why am I here?" You can blame the market, you can blame the timing, but at the end of the day, fans show up for what they actually want. And what they want is Shedeur Sanders. Not the knockoff, not the drama, not the washed-up names of yesterday. They want the real deal, the quarterback who eats, breathes, and lives football. Not some guy trying to trademark Broadway Jets while putting up a 3-for-11 nightmare in the playoffs. So let me ask you this. What do you think about the Shedeur Sanders effect? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, share this with your crew, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Because this story is only getting bigger from here.